Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome to another Premier League team guide. And today, a team very close to my heart, and that is Bournemouth Football Club, the town I was born and raised in. And everybody says, oh, why are you a Liverpool fan? You should be a Bournemouth fan. I've told the story many times. Not going to tell it again. But I do have a soft spot for Bournemouth. My nephew has been a season ticket holder for almost 20 years now, goes to every home and away game. He is fanatical about Bournemouth. We talk a lot about Bournemouth. I know the team well, so I might actually be useful in one of these guides. So in these guides, we're just going to talk about the club top to bottom, what they expect us to achieve, finances, the team itself, improvements that could be made, maybe some of the youngsters that could come through. Start off with finances. 14 million to spend and 50 grand on wages. That's about as I expected. What I'm assuming the board are going to expect us to not get relegated, aren't they? Yeah, avoid relegation. Fifth round of the FA Cup, fourth round of the League Cup, as expected. If we look at the team report, centre back is an issue, striker is an issue, teamwork, leadership, lack of aggression, jumping, coaching and scouting. Other than those things, other than those minor details, it's perfect club. Let's have a look at the staff there. Oh, yes. That is really bad. That needs completely rebuilding the recruitment side of it. We've got an average coaching setup. We've got space for one more. You might look again. And the medical department needs 4 more staff as well. So, yeah, rebuild the scouting department. If we look at the dynamics, just to see what we've got here, we've got the team leaders, one massive group of players here with a couple of sort of more the new guys there. Okay, so let's have a look at the squad itself, see what needs improving, where we're going to spend our money, what sort of tactic we're going to play. So in goal, we've got Asmir Begovic, the new signing this year. Brilliant goalkeeper. And Artur Boruc, he's 37 now, but he's perfectly good for another season or two, depending on when he wants to retire. His contract runs out at the end of the season. I'd probably just let it run out and then hire somebody else as a backup. Okay, right back option. We've got Adam Smith, who's decent. We've got Simon Francis, who can play both, but I prefer him in the middle. So I'm gonna say he's same as sort of Steve Cook. He's a centre back. They're not right backs. Like Simon Francis can do a job at right back. He's actually a decent right back. He's got 15 crossing. You could play him at right back, but I think he does make a very good central defender partnership with Steve Cookie. Sure, okay, I'm liking it so far. And then so left back we've got Charlie Daniels, who's decent, good all rounder. We've got Brad Smith, who starts the game transfer listed. I'd probably keep him, to be honest. He's not that bad, and we might need a bit more depth at left back. And because he's not worth that much money, we might only get 4 or 5 million for him. Maybe it's something you do if you just need that extra 5 million. But otherwise, I'd probably keep him for a season. We got Tyrone Minge, who is he's had some bad injuries in the last couple of years. But he looks all right. Maybe you can get rid of Brad Smith then, because we've got Minge and Charlie Daniels, so that's good. We've got Nathan Ake, who can also fill in at left back, but he is more of a central defence. So we've got Simon Francis, Steve Cook. What's Minge like at... Minge is all right centre back, and Ake, who I like. Okay. It's okay, the centre-back lot, I think, in the game. Central midfield, we've got Sermon, who's decent. We've got Lewis Cook, really good prospect. We've got Emerson Hyman, another very good prospect. So this is really nice. You know, Eddie Howe's bought for the future with these two here, which is good. He's loan listed to start with. That might be something you do or not. We've got Harry Arter, who's sort of mainstay of that central midfield. Dan Gosling's more of a rotational option. As an attacking options, we've got Marky Pugh, Junior Stanislav, Jordan, who are both all right. They're both top-end championship players in my eyes, and so they can do a job for us in the Premier League, but it's not the sort of players we really want to be relying on. These are the sort of players we really want to be replacing. Now we're sort of more secure in the Premier League. They're perfectly good as backups for the next couple of seasons, but I want to be looking to replace them. We've got Jordan Ibe, who's still rated in this game as a good prospect, can play on both sides. We've got Ryan Fraser, who's the sort of decent player, who's going to improve another young player, which is good. Who's this guy? I have no idea who this dude is. Connor Mahoney. I have no idea who that guy is. But he actually looks half decent. 20 years old, going to improve lots. Then we've got Josh King, who bagged a bunch of goals for Bournemouth last season. Ridiculous physical, so the amount of pace he's got. He needs to work on certain areas. If you're going to play him up front, you need to work on his first touch is the big thing for me. Just to make sure he's not losing the ball all the time. Then we've got the vastly experienced Jermaine Defoe. He scored 10 in a row. Sorry, that's a Bournemouth chant. Siders. Okay, Jermaine Defoe. You know Jermaine Defoe's Jermaine Defoe. Like if I need to explain to you Jermaine Defoe, then just like go back and start football again, people. Then we've got Benik Afobe, he's a complete forward who's okay, better in the game than he is in real life. He's pretty turd in real life, in my opinion. Then we've got Callum Wilson, who's a very good player. He's out for 4 months at the start of the game. Often gets picked up. In FM18, he would always get picked up for a lot of money by some of the top 4 teams. It could be the case again. He might have been downgraded a little bit, I think, maybe. So, let's see what the assistant, Mr. Tyndall, what are you going to say? 4-4-2, revolutionary, my friend, revolutionary. I quite like. I'm probably looking to play 2 up top, to be honest, because we've got some decent strikers. Callum Wilson, Jermaine Defoe, Josh King, and Benik Afobe are all decent players for this squad. They can all rotate and do... the scouts rate him all identically. Don't always trust the scouts, especially some of the scouts that if they're shit. And we've got a decent youngster as well. I think that's not too bad at all. I quite like that. Strengthening-wise, I think I would probably buy another centre-back. And the reason being is that I'd buy a centre-back which then adds a bit of depth to the centre-back options, but also then if we have an injury with Adam Smith, then Simon Francis, can play as right-back, and we have another guy to fill in at central midfield, central defence. So that's probably, I'd look to get a right-back in. Central midfield, I'm okay with. We've got some bright prospects there I'm really liking. I'd probably keep Hyndman and give him some game time, to be honest. Good advanced playmaker. On the wings is probably our weakest area. Other than that, even Jordan Ibe is going to be good, but he's still not quite there yet. So this is where I'd look to sort of strengthen, especially if we do play I like 4-4-2 in FM18, which is if you need wingers, because a lot of times, a lot of the problems people have is when they want to play 4-4-2, but every winger they have is just prefers playing much further up the pitch. They don't, they don't like playing these positions. Fortunately, both our guys are okay at that. Jordan Ibe, so he likes playing further forward. But I'd look to get a couple of wingers in, to be honest, and then probably sell one of either Stanislas or Pugh. Keep Fraser, keep Jordan Ibe, two wide midfielders or wingers, depending on which role that you want to play with these guys. I think that's pretty simple. I think let's have a quick look in the under-23s in case there's any good youth talent. We've got Maxi Gradle out on loan, speaking of wingers, who could come back and definitely do a job next year. He's 29 now, so either he's worth a decent chunk of money, so bring him back and sell him, or he could actually go straight back into the squad. We've got Federici, who probably we can just sell. Or actually, I'd probably have Federici as our backup goalkeeper, because Artur Boric is 37 now, isn't he? Retiring at the end of the season, most likely. But we've got Lewis Graben out on loan at the moment. I'd probably just sell him when he comes back. He's okay, but again, 29 years old. Last time he's going to be worth any money. As for the rest of it, no, not very good. What I do, if you're a first-timer taking over Bournemouth, one of the big things I'd work on is the youth development and training grounds and all that stuff. Obviously, Bournemouth are a tiny team in real life with a tiny little stadium. So I'm almost, if you're thinking of a long-term save, invest in the facilities. Try and make the stadium bigger or a brand new stadium. get the youth facilities, training facilities up to scratch so you can start bringing through your own youth talent. You're never, it's going to be many years before you're a big club. So we need to start getting through a few better youth players. And I'm also looking to improve those wingers. Right, there we go. There's my mini little team guide. I'm sure I'll get a text from my nephew now, having watched that, and said, no, you're all wrong. This is this, and this. So, Chris, text me, tell me I'm all wrong. That's fine. Actually, we pretty much agree on most things, Bournemouth. We're both sort of same tactically minded. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed this guide, my friends. If you have any tips, if you've managed Bournemouth or have any questions about Bournemouth, leave them in the comments below. Help each other out. That'd be fantastic. Go and check out all my other guides. I'm also doing Championship next as well. And I'm doing massive plans for FM18. So go check those out. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.